Good morning. It is Saturday, October the 9th, and I'm back in Mount Rainier National Park. Today I'm hiking along the Kautz Creek Trail, and I'm already a couple miles in from the trailhead. I started at 6:30 this morning in the dark and by headlamp. The objective today is to make it to Indian Henry's hunting grounds, hopefully make it up to Pyramid Park, or even scramble up Pyramid Peak. Don't really know what to expect though, because I have a very slim weather window. It's already pretty cold out, and tonight a pretty substantial low pressure system is supposed to move inland off the coast and bring the snow level lower to about 4,000 feet. It's going to be a lot colder and a lot stormier. So this is kind of the last shebang of the hiking season for 2021 before hunting season starts next weekend. And then I won't be doing as much hiking until the springtime. So whatever happens today, I'm gonna make it a good one. And let's see if we can first make it up to the patrol cabin, Indian Henry's hunting grounds. One thing to note about the Kautz Creek Trail is it's roughly 5 miles to the Indian Henry's patrol cabin, but the first mile of that is flat along Kautz Creek and down below, and then it pretty much goes straight up all the way. So it has a very steep elevation gain to greet you first thing in the morning. Got to get up it to get to that high country. There's a view looking down the drainage that just came up. You can kind of get a scale of the ascent that I'm currently doing, but the trail is breaking out of the trees right now, and the sun looks like it might come out. It did freeze up here last night, and there's a big buck deer right there. I just noticed it. Let me see if I can get him. This is about to be good. So that was a big buck. It was a big blacktail. He was sitting right there in that meadow. And when I walked around the corner of the trees, he had a doe with him. And he actually was able to get pretty close. I hope the footage turns out. The lens on my camera was getting fogged up. They went up over this ridge. I might run into him again up here. There's a little bit of snow on the ground. It did freeze last night up here. It's very frosty. The fog could go either way right now. It could burn off, and I can get some hours of some sunshine, but it could also get more socked in. I did have a view of the mountain just a few minutes ago though, so I'm hoping to get more footage of that right up here when we break out into the first open meadows. That was awesome. this point, drop down into this meadow, and we're going to rise steeply up again, pretty much to the top of Mount Ararat right there. And that mountain's about 6,000 feet elevation. We're going to go along the east side of it, and then that'll be the high point for a while. We'll kind of drop down into Indian Henry's hunting grounds. And the patrol cabin is down there. That's kind of the next big objective of this hike. We are getting our first views of Mount Rainier right now. And I think it actually looks cooler with all the clouds and moisture surrounding the peaks up there. So let's go down and check out Indian Henry's hunting grounds. You know when weather's coming when you see a cloudnado forming behind the summit of Mount Rainier. Look at that. It looks just like an ice cream swirl on top of a cone. Incredible. Alright, well here we are at Indian Henry's hunting grounds. The patrol cabin is right there behind me. And there's some people at it. I think I'm just going to grab a quick snack and a drink and push on to Pyramid Park and try and make it to the top of Pyramid Peak. Well, I got this wonderful break in the weather. I'm really liking the views of Mount Rainier behind me right now. The clouds are doing amazing things. So let's head on up to Pyramid Park. Alright, so far so good. I'm here at Mirror Lakes. This is the end of the maintained trail. Once you enter Indian Henry's hunting grounds, you hop on the Wonderland Trail just for a second, go down past the patrol cabin, and then there's another way trail that comes out here to Mirror Lakes. I have to say I'm really enjoying this trip. Usually Indian Henry's is really buggy. It's one of the most mosquito infested places in this park because it's really wet and boggy in here, but none of that is happening right now because it's kind of chilly. There's snow on the ground, there's ice on all the still water. It's just awesome. I love these conditions. Some of the best weather for hiking in, for sure. From here we have to take the unmaintained trail or climbing route the rest of the way. This route here, it takes you up along the side of Copper Mountain, and then it takes you to the saddle between Copper Mountain and ultimately Pyramid Peak. Fisher's Hornpipe Creek flows between those two peaks. That's kind of the next objective, and then I'll start heading up into the unknown from there. So we'll see what happens. Here we go. Alright, here's the view looking down on Tahoma Creek and the moraines around Glacier Island. You can see how the mountain is making its own weather right now. And we're Still getting some views of point success. But slowly the mountain's going away under a veil of clouds. Behind me is the saddle that Joey and I camped in and spent our last night when we did our big trip around Rainier back at the end of July. I was hoping to at least make it back to this spot, which I'm about to be successful at that. But the view of the mountain is now gone and lots of clouds are rolling in. You can't even see Pyramid Peak. Well, there's a glimpse of it right there. So I might take a break down here and eat some hot food, see what happens with the clouds, if it gets worse or if it gets better, and then I'll make my next decision on the next move to make. So from that last overlook, I dropped down into this little valley, the headwaters of Fisher's Hornpipe Creek. There are these polished rocks right here. Really good campsite. This is where we put our tents. The last big camping trip we did here in Mount Rainier. Very quickly this fog rolled in and it has not gone away. It's kind of sticking around right now, and it's kind of dictating what the next move of the trip is going to be. I might go up a little bit further just to be an explorer. I've never been past this spot before, but I probably am not going to try and go up Pyramid Peak. It's really not worth it if you can't see anything. So at some point here I'm going to turn around and head back down the trail. Might find a nice grove of trees to sit down and eat lunch and take a nice break. Enjoy this silence and the mysterious enshrouded forests in fog mist. Alright, I just took a break, and in the spirit of adventure, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to go a little bit further and see what's further up the trail here. Never been up here before, so I always like checking out new places. Come up a couple hundred feet from the saddle, and we entered this area with all these glacially smooth rocks. I love the sound of the bubbling streams. I'm assuming Pyramid Peak is right there, so should I continue on? I think I will. The trail's pretty easy to follow. In the general vicinity, you got a couple hundred feet of visibility. Let's go see what's up here. I love walking through terrain like this. The fog makes it so I want to come back, because definitely can't see the views to be had from here. But the local topography is what's doing it right now. Fog forces you to pay attention to the things that are close to you. Like all this right here. Look at the work that these tiny little alpine glaciers did when they were hanging on here at one time. You know, it just makes you wonder what's beyond that ridge right there. And the trail kind of goes right up that way. I'm going to keep going. This is kind of fun. I just came up this very steep slope here, and judging by the uptick in wind, I'm probably getting close to a ridge crest. I think it's right up here. I officially have no idea where I'm at, but I'm following this trail, and I guess I'll see what's up here just over this edge. The trail brings you to this little saddle, and I have no idea what is down there, but it sounds like a lot of rough water. Probably don't want to go that way, but I'm assuming that up there is Pyramid Peak, so I might as well just go on a little bit further and see if maybe that's the top of it up there. But I also think I just felt the first raindrop. Actually looks like the sun might come out. It sure is really steep though. No idea what's up here. Here is the fogged-in view from the summit of Pyramid Peak. I just looked at my compass, and that way that I came up was the East Ridge that you can see very well from Paradise. I kind of figured I was on that portion of the mountain, but now I know for sure that that's the way I approached. The trail actually comes right through a lower portion of Pyramid Park and then comes right up the spine of the mountain there. And then when we turn this way, this is looking off to the north, and you would see a lot more of Pyramid Park down in here, and you would see a pretty awesome view of Mount Rainier from its southwest face. And this way here is looking off towards the west. And then we're turning down towards the south here, which is kind of the way I approached on this hike today. You would probably be able to see an elevated view of Indian Henry's hunting grounds off in that direction there. And now we're looking back towards the east again, the way I'm going to head back down. When I was making my way up to the top here, there was a point where the unmaintained trail got really steep. And I kind of didn't know where I was, but I saw cairns that I was following. I checked the watch and I told myself, okay, it's 11:34, give yourself till noon and you'll turn around then. Well, I made it to that saddle that was down there behind me, and I figured from that point the summit probably wasn't that far, and so I committed to coming all the way up to the top here. This summit sits around 6,937 feet, so it's just shy of 7,000. There's a couple inches of snow up here. And I ended up topping out a little after noon, so it really didn't take me that long to get up here after I checked my clock the first time there. The sun's coming out at times. I can see its light disc right there. It's behind me. But it still doesn't look like it's going to clear up to get any great views up here. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes on the summit and make my way back down to Indian Henry's. I can feel that chill in the air. The winds of change are coming, and this patrol cabin is all locked up for the winter. It's a fitting place to kind of conclude this day hike and just an amazing season of backpacking, hiking, and climbing in this particular park. I didn't travel much to other places in the United States this year just because it was kind of a tough year. So I'm really thankful that I have a place like Mount Rainier National Park to fall back on. I've done a lot of hiking in this park. I've been on a lot of the maintained trails, and this year I really got the chance to explore a lot of places off trail and go and see some locations that I've never really visited before. Today was an example of that. I'm glad I got to come back and finish this business here in Indian Henry's and Pyramid Park, go up and climb Pyramid Peak. Even though it was all a whiteout up there, it was still awesome. I don't really want to go home, but I kind of have to. It's just amazing up here. I can't get enough of it. You know, words can't express the feelings that I have when I come up here. That deer I saw this morning, his antlers were completely all horns, all the velvet was gone. He had big old antlers. The weather, the clouds, the fall conditions. It's just now starting to rain. I'm so thankful for this place. I don't know what I'd do without it. It just feels really good that when you have a hard week, we all have hard weeks. The last couple of years have been really rough. It's been tough in America. But I'm glad that America has these places set aside. And today was a day that I really felt like that the purpose for this place was fulfilled, at least in my soul. I got to come up here and defrag. I got to let go of some of the over-civilization that I feel myself falling into. As a matter of fact, this is the exact spot I was sitting back in 2008 when I decided that I wanted to do the Wonderland Trail for the first time, and I was going to dedicate my life to start backpacking. I had done one trip when I was in middle school, and that planted the seed. I came up here in a complete August rainstorm, got soaked, and I sat right here and just looked at this view and decided that this was for me. So, for the benefit and enjoyment of the people, I'm living that dream right now, and I'll see you next time up here in Mount Rainier National Park. After a very steep descent, we have arrived in the old growth. The trail has flattened out quite a bit, and we are moving down the last couple of miles of trail to the trailhead.